Are you here on Friday?
This Friday and this Saturday, I'm out. Friday, I've got a leadership conference at Cuimaca. It sounds exciting. And then Saturday, I've got a curriculum conference up north somewhere. That sounds exciting. So,
Sunday you're going to a basketball game.
huh?
Sounds like you're going to
Oh, that would be, yes, I'm going to pretend like that's true. That sounds good to me. Especially with the current state of things in the basketball world. I don't know if you're a Lakers fan, but a little glimmer of hope for you.
I saw it last night.
Yeah.
I've never seen much
It's a
basketball.
terrible game. Terrible
Your
game.
dad?
Yeah, I've never seen much basketball. Now all of a sudden I see watching basketball.
It's like, damn it, it's on my favorite channel.
All right, I will say this. We're going to have a, I can't remember if I said something like this already or not, but we're going to have a quiz. We're going to have a quiz. There you go. That always gets attention.
See, you're supposed to be on.
Quiz on Monday
Oh, no.
on 4.2, 4.1, and 8.
Bloody hell.
And 8.1?
Yes. So there'll be Babylonians and Mayans and Egyptians, oh my, and Romans,
Isn't hurting already.
and then metric, right? Good old King Henry, right? Oh boy. So with that understood, are there any questions from homework?
He looks directly at me.
No. Okay. I'm a foolish
I haven't even
optimist,
done that.
so I'll take that as a good sign. I'm worried it's not. Yep.
A review for the conversions.
Yeah, the conversions from, you did a diagram on the board last time
Yes.
where,
So one thing, real quick, let's do a little review. So one thing was, of course, the King Henry thing. And I think I managed to talk about all the little things to be careful about. King Henry died Monday, drinking chocolate milk. Now, what is it about the Monday that might be misleading you got to be careful about? Because that's if you're measuring length. If you're measuring volume, for example, King Henry died laughing, maybe, if you want to. Drinking chocolate milk. Right? And of course, if you're doing weight, it'd be blah, 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 grams. Right? But the really cool thing about that is we have entirely different units for each of those. Metric system said, screw that. We're going to have the same prefixes that mean the same things. I don't care what I'm measuring. I just use the name for that certain thing I'm measuring. So it works the same way no matter if you're measuring volume, if you're measuring length, whatever. You convert the same way. So real quick review. If I had 0.048 decameters, how many centimeters would that be?
48.
And why is that? Because you have to take how many steps? From decameters to centimeters? 1, 2, 3.
Well, your deca means 10, so 10 times is...
So every step is a step of 10. I like it. So deca to meter would be 10 times this, and then 10 times it, and then 10 times it. And that's why every step is just moving the decimal place, because it's based on 10. So I have to go 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. That would be 48 centimeters. Cool. So if I would have put 0.048 decagrams, it would have been 48 centigrams. Right? That's the great thing about it. No matter what I'm measuring, my conversions are the same for metric. For us, no. 12 inches in a foot, but that's not the same number of tablespoons in a liter or something. You know, it doesn't have an analogy in the other. Okay. So is that cool, that King Henry idea? So I've made King Henry into a verb, by the way. Very often I'll say, and now you King Henry it. Right? And that's the awesome English language that allows me to do that without too many raised eyebrows. What we did after this was we talked about, and I think this really excited you guys, area and conversions when they're square units. And truly, the idea is pretty, what in the world? The idea is pretty straightforward. If I have 1 square meter, how many square decimeters would that be?
0, 1, or.
Guess. Good.
What, 1?
Meters to
But
decibels.
careful now, from meters to decimeters would normally be 1 step.
We have to do.
Now I'm going to take twice that. Or you can think it normally would be multiplied by 10. Now I'm going to multiply by 10 squared, 100.
100, so it's gonna be 100.
So there's really 2 different ways to look at it. Because the metric system is based on 10, every step now is like a multiplication of 10. So instead of multiplying by 110, I got to multiply it by 10 squared. That's why I doubled the number of steps. Or if you're a visual person, you could always make a square meter. Each meter is then 10 decimeters, right? And what's the area now? 10 times 10, 100 decimeters squared. Either, any of the 3 ways you do it, you got to end up with the same number. Yes, ma'am.
So do you just add 1 extra place, or you double whatever
Double.
you move?
So if I wanted to go 1 square decameter to how many square decimeters? That would normally be how many steps?
2.
2,
But yeah,
and I have to double it now.
Okay.
It would normally be multiplying by 100. Now I've got to multiply by 100 squared.
Thank you.
So it's the same idea. So now I've got to multiply by 10,000. So I move this so this would become 10,000. So I normally take 1, 2 steps. Now I got to take 3, 4 steps. I got to double it. So if it was cubed, if I have to normally take 2 steps, I'd have to now take 3 times 2 steps. So now if I had, I'm desperately wanting guys to get this. If I had 1 cubic decameter, how many cubic decimeters would that be? Normally, again, normally I have to take 2 steps. Now I've got to take 6 steps.
a million.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. How we doing? And again, we've seen this before. 3 feet make
1 yard.
1 yard. So 1 square yard would be 9 square feet, right? 1 cubic yard would make
27.
27 cubic feet. You square or cube the number you would normally use. So up here, I would normally multiply by 10. 10 squared is 100. Now I multiply by 100. The nice thing with metric, though, you have the idea of each, now you can talk about steps instead of a number. Here you can't talk about steps because it's not based on 10. Here you could, if you wanted to, talk about steps. Instead of taking 1 step, I take 2 times 1, 2 steps. Bam. I'm so hopeful always. So here, again, if you wanted to get something visual, you can make a little cube. 1 cubic decameter would be 1 decameter, 1 decameter, 1 dam. And each dam is how many dams? Each dam is how many?
100.
100. So this would be 100 by 100 by 100 decimeters. So 100 times 100 times 100 is 100, 100, 100. You get the same stupid number, don't you? Of course you do. So you have a visual way and 2 mathematical ways. One is just cube the number you would normally do, or take 3 times as many steps as you normally would. Every single method ends up with the same number. But I really want it to make sense. I mean, this only makes sense. 1 square yard would be a yard by a yard. So each one is multiplied by 3 now. So overall, I multiply by 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So when I'm talking about higher level powers on my units, my number that I normally use has to also increase by that much, because I got that many more sides than normal. Does that make sense? I mean, that's really what that means.
So 3 feet is 1 yard. 1 yard squared is 9 feet.
9 square feet. 1 cubic yard is 3 cubed, 27 cubic feet. Cool. So one thing I like to do, and I'll tell you this, I like to give like a bonus problem that deals with nonsensical units. I just make them up. So on some other planet, you got 1 erg is 7 bleeds. Right?
Is this going to be on the test?
Could be a bonus type of problem. Of course, I'll probably make it a little harder than this, but I like to give something like this. So what's 1 square erg? How many square bleeds?
14.
49.
Careful.
49.
49. You square the damn thing, right? So I can make it totally something we don't even know, and the idea still holds. Because again, you can draw a square erg, is an erg by an erg, and each erg is 7 bleats, as we all know. So how many square bleats is that? 7 times 7, 49. Right? So if I cube it, there will be 7 cubed. Right? 343. All right. Thought you guys might like the ergs and the bleats. Sorry, Archie, you still
No, good.
you good? You just like the bleats? All right. And then the last thing we did, I think, was from section A2. Let me see, remember? Yeah. And I think I actually filled it in. I actually went a little bit ahead of myself, and I filled in the last column. If I have a cubic centimeter, which is roughly that. If I have 1 cubic centimeter, that'll hold 1 milliliter of water, which would then be 1 gram. If I have a cubic decimeter, which would be 10 times as big on each side, right? So it'd be roughly, I don't know, something like that maybe. Cubic decimeter, it'll hold 1 liter of water. I know. And we talked last time about, it's normally a step of, it's normally like multiplied by 10 to go from centimeter to decimeter, right?
Yeah.
So now it's going to be by 10 to go from milliliter to liter? By 1,000, I'm sorry, because it's cubed. So it's 1,000 from there. That's why it makes sense. It's from 1 milliliter to a whole liter. So the next step, of course, would be 1 cubic meter. A step of 1,000 up from here would be a kiloliter. And then a step from it would be 1,000 kilograms. Remember, that was also known as 1 metric ton. No, ton. Yeah. Okay, so that's something that you'll have available. I think the very last thing I did, the very last few seconds of class, was try to show you a couple examples how to use this thing, right? And the one example I love, I told you directly that I will have this on the test, is to give you something like this. Let me give you one a little bit different this time. And say it's 1 erg. No, let's not do ergs. Let's do so it's 30.